sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters, podcast number 2379. Today we are tackling the question on how do I handle contradictions in stories. Contradictions are part of every family story. So that's the first thing to remember. Memory is shaped by perspective and emotion. Memory is not a recording device. That's why you have phones to record on. You've got digital recorders that you can use. Your memory is not a recording device. It is shaped by where somewhere stood in an event and how they felt at the time. Two siblings might remember a same childhood move very differently. One may remember it with excitement and adventure, while the other one remembers it with fear and loss. Both memories are real because they reflect emotional experience, not just facts. I can remember, I moved a lot as a kid. There was the excitement of going on a new adventure. At the same time, there's a lot of apprehension because, once again, I'd be the new kid on the block, and I really didn't like being the new kid on the block. I wanted to stay and have friends. Excuse me. So I had a very different perspective to what my brothers had. And everybody will experience an event in a different way. Even if you're standing right next to each other, I just remembered that makes noise. But everybody experiences an event in a very different way. If you watch the movie Vantage Point, it's about a guy who gets assassinated. They're in this the square with this building that goes all the way around on all four sides. Great trap area. But they shoot the politician that's up on the stand. And then they have to do then they reverse engineer what happened as to where the shot was taken from, and then trying to figure out how the person got up there, who the person was, working backwards. But they had to use different perspectives. There was a person there with a video camera, somebody else with another video device, recording device. They had the news coverage there recording it as well. So they took all of these videos plus testimonies from the people that were in the square and got very different perspectives all the time, but putting those pieces together, they were actually able to put together a bigger picture of what actually happened. So different versions will reflect lived experiences. When family members tell different stories of the same versions of the same story, they're often describing how the event felt from their position. A parent might remember a financial struggle as a time of determination and teamwork. A child from that same household may remember uncertainty and stress. Neither version cancels the other. Together, they form a fuller picture of what life was actually like. Like in the movie Vantage Point, they get all of these different perspectives and they're able to develop a fuller picture of what actually happened and find clues to help them go back a next step. So there's a lot of replay in that as they're going through what happened, and then they add in a different perspective. Contradictions do not equal dishonesty. You must remember that. Contradictions do not equal dishonesty. It is tempting to assume that contradicting stories means someone is exaggerating or hiding the truth. In most cases, contradictions arrive from memory limits, perspective, and time. For example, one relative might insist an event happened in winter while another swears it was the summer. Rather than focusing on who's right, it's more helpful to ask what the disagreement reveals about how the event was remembered and retold. Records provide context, not final answers. Historical records can help anchor stories, but they do not always settle disagreements completely. A document might confirm a date or location, yet it cannot capture how people experience the moment. For instance, a marriage certificate confirms when a marriage occurred, but it does not explain the family tensions, excitement, or hesitation surrounding that day. In some cases, people were against the marriage. It doesn't get reflected on a marriage certificate. It's what the people witnessed at the time and the gossip that was going around at the time. I tell you, gossip's fun. But there could be some family tension because they may not agree to the marriage, but the person is of age. So it's sort of like, I love that person. I'm going to marry that person. It really doesn't matter what the family thinks. It could be like some places where they have arranged marriages. The person might, you don't know that from looking at the marriage certificate or even the entry in the parish records to see whether that was was this a marriage of love or was it an arranged marriage? The records don't show that. Only witnesses' testimonies can be brought into that. So records support the framework while personal stories adds texture. Multiple truths can coexist. Family history is really a single tidy narrative. It is layered. It is layered, I tell you. A difficult period might be remembered as both a time of hardship and a time of closeness. A business failure might be recalled as both devastating and transformative. Accepting that more than one truth can exist allows families to hold complexity without forcing a simple conclusion. And while this matters, forcing a single version can erase important insight. You might actually erase some of the details or some of the emotions from the story and just make it a very sort of like rigid story. This is what happened, this is when it took place, and da, 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 da. No, but when you're adding in other dimensions of that from different testimonies, you've got this beautiful story that flows and has this beautiful rhythm to it. Whereas, yeah, forcing one perspective, it takes away that. So your practical exercise takeaway for today is document each version without judgment. So when you get told a story that you've heard before, but now this is from a different perspective, remember, it is shaped, memories are shaped on emotions and what was the other word I used? Emotions. And oh, excuse me. What am I totally forgot. Sorry, memories are shaped on perspective and emotion. So the more versions you get of the story, the fuller the picture of the story. So document each version without judgment. And if you want help navigating conflicting stories, send us a private message and we'll set up a discovery call, a free, no obligation discovery call to help get you on the path and get you moving. And in closing today, layered stories reveal deeper truth. So go out there, find those layered stories, find those people that were at that event, get their stories written down so you get a full picture of what happened at the event. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at